Hey, what's happening gamers, it is The Honest Gamer here, and today I'm bringing you all a look at the upcoming game from Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed 3. The game is set to hit our screens this October 2012 for the PS3, Xbox 360, Wii U and the PC. So sit back and relax as I bring you all the best need to know bits about one of the best games to be released this year. Development began on Assassin's Creed 3 right away after the 2009 release of the previous game, and initially there was a lot of confusion as to whether Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was the actual sequel to the game in 2010, when its details first come to light. However, these rumours were soon put to rest when details were released that a new numbered installment in the series wouldn't consist of a repeated character from any previous game, and both characters and settings would be new. After a promotional image of the game looking to detail core elements of the title was allegedly sent from a Best Buy employee to Kotaku, it became officially announced the following day by the company that the game would indeed take place during the American Revolution. The story sees you playing in the role of a young half-English, half-Mohawk man named Connor Kenway, who is forced into doing battle when his home is destroyed by white colonists. The story itself is planned to span 30 years of young Connor's life, and being that his lifespan is during the years 1753 to 1853, we are told that he will be meeting historical figures such as George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. The main story will be based around the ongoing war between the Assassins and the Templars, which has now moved to colonial America, and during the game you will be seeing a lot of the American Revolution taking place around you. The main gameplay elements have always been action-adventure, open world and of course stealth, but new improvements have been made to these elements to continue the trend of Ubisoft creating bigger and better Assassin's Creed games every time. For example, during this title the player will be able to, for the first time in the series, climb trees, as developers felt it strange that given all the player can actually climb during the previous titles, that he wasn't able to climb simple trees. This worked well as it assisted in giving the player additional places to hide, adding to the previously mentioned stealth element being improved. Furthermore, it also fits into the story of the young half-Mohawk growing up in an area forested, where he could have learned to do this better. A new element being brought to the forefront will be climate change, used heavily throughout. During summer, Connor is able to move quickly with ease, but during the winter, developers wanted to ensure a realism not seen before, as the player struggles to maintain speed while slowed down by thick snowfall, as fog naturally limits your visibility, and attempting to move fast will result in you falling down. The weather plays a pivotal role in another Assassin's Creed element, which is how stealth has evolved in terms of mingling with passers-by to avoid guards and such. Well, now when it pours down with rain, you will find non-playing guards and potential enemies quickly moving to get into cover to escape it, giving more possibilities for overcoming obstacles. These obstacles are easier to get around in a city environment. However, whilst out in the open expanse of the frontier, your only ability to stay alive is moving slow, using tactics to your advantage, as your enemies are now equipped with guns. However, these weapons are one-shot rifles of the time, meaning if your opponent misses, he will be forced to move into close range with a sword to do battle. This will no doubt prove to make you appreciate your surroundings further, as it forces you to move between cover, using trees and avoiding wild animals sure to alert guards to your presence if spooked nearby. What's great about the game is that it is using a brand new graphics engine called Anvil Next, which the company claims they are attempting to use to create next generation graphics in current generation platforms. The engine allows for a huge amount of characters to appear on screen at any one time. This is allowing them to create massive looking battles taking place during the storyline between the colonial British and the Americans rebelling against them, and we are told that you, the player, can choose to either get involved or stay on the sidelines hidden. It's also interesting to note that whilst many fans of the series were interested in seeing a host of female assassins or even the main character as one, the developers felt it wouldn't fit the timeline of the game's main story, being set during the American Revolution, and didn't work in theory very well. Unfortunately, Ubisoft aren't overly impressing their fans who play predominantly on a PC, as they have clearly stated that they will not be investing hugely in a mouse and keyboard setup, also saying, "I think if you want to play on PC and you want to play Assassin's Creed, you have a controller." The last thing of interest to note is that pre-orders of the game have been huge, and Ubisoft has stated that numbers bought have already passed the previous two titles in the same time frame. Alongside this, it's important to state that different pre-order bonuses will be available, such as ordering from Amazon will give you access to a unique uniform such as the Captain Assassin's uniform, as well as different weapons, like the flintlock pistol. You will also be visiting locations during the game such as Boston and New York, as well as smaller settlements like Concord and Lexington, which the developers had a hard time imagining exactly what the common streets would look like, with smaller buildings and wider roads. Now for my honesty segment. Honestly, the game looks amazing. Given the screenshots, I am not entirely convinced just yet that the game's new graphics engine is quite next generation. Whilst I'm sure that the new Anvil Next can produce fantastic fighting scenes occurring both close to Connor and in the distance, I don't think the effects and textures will be what most consider to be truly next generation graphics. Another one of my personal issues with the first two games in the series was intercity travel. The first of which saw you riding between areas on a horse, avoiding well-placed shots from random guards. The second game had you waiting through long sequences as your character travelled across the lands. Now the third time around, we are told that this has been improved by developers. For example, they have created a very vast outdoor space in which you can explore, filled it with random campsites, forested areas, wandering patrols and wildlife. And at 1.5 times the size of Assassin's Creed Brotherhood's Rome, there's a lot of room to manoeuvre. However, this would be pointless without decent and interesting things to do. So all we can hope is that the developers haven't left us a largely beautiful environment but also largely unfilled. But that will of course remain to be seen. Initially, brand new elements also seem to have been implemented decently. However, as we all know all too well, developers have in the past spoken of great core game mechanics that we all look forward to that never quite paid off. That being said, I am always someone who is willing to give the benefit of the doubt, and truly look forward to exploring the game and everything new it has to offer for myself come this October. Okay guys, so that sums up my preview of Assassin's Creed 3. Stay tuned for more awesome and honest gaming previews, reviews, history of gaming shows, and of course my top games of the month series. And as always, it is The Honest Gamer here, and happy gaming.